Good morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien here on Tuesday, May 3rd, 2022, sitting in for Paul Harvey this morning. And today's commentary, Mr. Harvey up there, it's a commentary that's got to be said, so you and the boss will understand. It's Roe versus Wade and the desire to overturn it. Well, Americans, sitting in for Paul Harvey, this is your favorite alien here, and the commentary today is on Roe v. Wade. I see the Supreme Court is planning on overturning it, and it's strange that somebody leaked out that draft of Justice Alito, huh? Whoever had that had no good in mind by leaking it out that way. But since he did, and I read a little bit about it last night, and I have some comments to Justice Alito here. As probably the Supreme Court Chief Justice Roberts, who is not on your side on this, he's on the other side. And I don't blame him for being on the other side because Roe v. Wade is precedent. Whether you like it or not, Justice Alito, and you people that hate abortions, is abortions a right? It's a guarantee. That's better than a right. Is abortion legal? Yes. But you don't go like you go to McDonald's and order a Big Mac or a McGriddle and say, I got it. A abortion is for certain items. A woman gets raped. That's conceived in terror, not conceived in love. So she has a right to not want the kid. That is the grounds for abortion, yes. I know that because I was conceived in hate. Should have been an abortion child, but I was born before abortion. My mother should have had the right to say no, but you guys didn't give her that right, and now you want to take it away. I shouldn't be here. And believe me, I know more than ever, being from another planet, that the host here, Mr. DeGracia, believes formally he should not be here. And I understand his beliefs. Now the second part. It shouldn't be abortion on demand. You can't go over there like you go over to, like I said, McDonald's and order whatever you want there, and you go to the abortion clinic and you order an abortion like, okay, I want my Big Mac. Yeah, no, it shouldn't be that way. It should be for extenuating circumstances, i.e., the mother is having a hard time with the child inside. There's a lot of women that have that problem. The child was conceived not in love, but in hate or in terror. Rape, number 2. Number 3, the child was conceived because there was no contraception. And in 1973, that was the case. 4, the child was conceived and never wanted. Those top 4 should be enough for the Supreme Court to view this as a precedent. And Mr. or Justice Alito, you alluded in your paper that there's no such thing in the Constitution for abortion. There's no thing in the Constitution for women. The only other thing other than men mentioned in your Constitution is African Americans, which are 3/5 of your population based on your Constitution. They're only 3/5 of a being. And you say, well, we did away with all that a long time ago. Yeah. Just like your argument that the board, Brown versus the Board of Education supersedes Plessy versus Ferguson. Really? It does? Where? I don't see anything superseding the Dred Scott decision, do you? And most people say, oh, the 14th Amendment. Well, Justice Alito, you've been mentioning the 14th Amendment. When the 14th Amendment was passed, it was so watered down that you created Plessy versus Ferguson. Then you watered it up, and you created Brown versus the Board of Education. So now you're trying to change the 14th Amendment to go the other way, to create another Plessy versus Ferguson. Well, you're going to have separate but equal. You she-he's, he-he's, and what's-its, well, you get your own bathrooms, you get your own restaurants, you get your own water fountains, if they still have any. You get your own cell phones. You can't mingle with the other guys. That's what you're heading to if you take this Roe v. Wade out. You're heading towards Plessy versus Ferguson again. Is that what you want? Really? And Americans, no matter how you feel about abortion, your Constitution was established as a doctrine, not a prime directive, as a doctrine, okay? And that's the problem with you. You don't have a prime directive that goes along with the doctrine. Our civilization had to develop both in order to survive. You haven't even done one. Because the Constitution, oh, there's nothing like this in the 18th century. Of course not. You're living in the 21st century, Justice Alito. And in the 21st century, a doctrine, you have to accommodate it to the different times, technologies, social structure, and time period. You've never done that with the Constitution. What you've done is what you call amendments, which don't do it. You have to change the document itself, and you've never done that. Amending the document doesn't help. All those amendments that you have to the document of the Constitution, it's caused more problems to your society than it's solved. Because you don't understand, you have to amend your doctrine. And you haven't done that. Therefore, African Americans are still considered 3/5, even though you got the 14th Amendment. But look at what you've done with the 14th Amendment. You've gone one way, and you've gone the other way, and now you're going back to the other way to Plessy versus Ferguson. Along with the African Americans, you're going to take the Latins, the Asians, the he, she-he's, and what's-its, the women. So what are you going to do? Go back to the Greek days when you had a certain number of men who had the right to vote. Just a certain number. Most men didn't vote in Greece. Is that what you want your democracy to be, Justice Alito? This is your favorite alien sitting in for Paul Harvey saying, you got to look at your document as a doctrine that has to be changed. You haven't done it in 245 years, and you must do it now. Reversing Roe versus Wade does not help. It creates disintegration and destruction of your United States Union. Sitting in for Paul Harvey, this is your favorite alien. Good day.